On this episode,
I worked 3 jobs, saved all my money to study with this vocal coach who was the very best in the Chicagoland area. And after a month, she gave me all my money back and said I would never sing and I should go into business. And that's what I did.
from the coveted corner booth in a little bar at the center of the Coachella Valley universe, welcome to another Big Conversation with Patrick Evans and Randy Florence, presented by the McCallum Theater. Visit McCallumTheater.org or reach the box office at 760-340-2787. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Howard. Yes, we are indeed back at the corner booth at Skip Page's Little Bar in Palm Desert, California. Another episode of Big Conversations Little Bar. I'm your host, Patrick Evans, along with my co-host, Randy Florence. How are you, sir?
I'm awesome. This is a fantastic day.
I don't know what you're doing. You look younger every time I see you.
I got my hair cut really short.
That's what it is.
That's it.
And it's really dark in here.
This also helps.
I'm getting younger by the moment.
That is our guest, Michael Holmes. We're going to get to him in just a moment. But first, we want to give a big shout-out to our presenting sponsor, the McCallum Theater. It is the home of great theater entertainment, wonderful comedies, great musicals. You're going to find everything under the sun at the McCallum Theater, and tickets are on sale now for the entire season. McCallumTheater.org is where you can go see the entire season lineup. By the way, a lot of these shows are selling out pretty quickly, so we want you guys to go and get them right now.
Burton Cummings.
I mean, we want you to listen to the podcast first.
No, I need Burton Cummings too.
I know. All you have to do is ask, and our wish is their command over at the McCallum Theater.
Okay.
You're going to be sitting in the box right next to Gary and Barry, and they're going to look at you like, what are you doing here?
Burton Cummings is there.
Like, why are you
Why
here?
are you here? Well, we have this podcast.
And could you go to the bar and please get us some drinks? The McCallum Theater, our presenting sponsor, and we are, of course, very, very grateful for that. We're here today with actually one of my most favorite people in this town, whom I don't see often enough, and that
I'm
is
here every week.
Yes, you are.
Oh.
And you are correct, sir. And again, Michael Holmes, our guest today from the Purple Room, purpleroompalmsprings.com. One of, I think, the best venues of entertainment in the Valley.
Wow, thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for being here.
I'm so glad to meet you in a dark bar. Something new.
You keep the lighting very low at the Purple Room, which I am very grateful for.
When I walk in, the first thing I say is, bring those lights down about 10 years.
Speaking of 10 years, this is your 10th year of operating the Purple Room.
It is.
And it's such an amazing venue. I think people don't often realize the history behind the Purple Room. So why don't you give us a little thumbnail? I mean, the Rat Pack tested out stuff before they took it to Vegas. They did it right on your stage.
Yeah, well, the Purple Room was built in 1960 inside Club Trinidad Resort, which was very swanky, glamorous place in the day. You know, all the pictures of Clark Gable, Lauren Bacall, everybody at the opening, you know. And where it was built, you know, it was still 10 miles to down, or no, a mile and a half of open land, basically.
Right, there was nothing
downtown
out there.
No, they filmed Western TV shows and movies across the street.
Some of the rodeo used to take place across the street because it was still, you were very close to Smoke Tree Ranch. It was much more of a Western town than a golf resort back then.
Right. They had the Chaparral. They filmed all that. John Wayne sat at the bar with his crew. Lucy and Desi used to stay there with their whole TV show going.
And now Lucy Arnaz is a frequent performer. Every season she does a show.
She does. And a good friend. She and Larry are good friends.
Yeah.
So.
We had Larry very recently on the show to talk about his autobiography, and he's amazing.
It's great. He's the funniest, smartest man I've ever met.
He was the funniest, smartest man at the table that day.
Yeah.
There was no doubt about it.
Probably in Palm Desert.
I was going to say, within a 20-mile radius,
Yeah.
I would argue.
Yeah.
Larry is that guy. He is the smartest man in the room when he walks into a room. I love what you've done with the Purple Room, and I'm thank you for always being gracious and letting me sit at the bar and enjoy shows. You're always very kind about that.
You mean free booze?
Yeah, there was some free booze.
Liquor up.
Which I enjoy. I enjoy it better than the regular booze.
So I want to. I'm a history buff. Talk to me about what you were thinking as you were purchasing this place. The feelings, the history.
Well, the truth is, I toured performing for decades.
Right.
And I would be on the road about 8 months a year. So it's hard to have a life, when you're gone all the time.
What kind of shows were you doing?
To make money or
Yes.
Yeah. All of the above. The ones
It's an open-ended question, Michael.
The ones that I could talk about, the Judy Show and jazz, singing jazz. But I'd play the Eastern Seaboard 6 to 8 months a year, travel to Europe, Mexico, all over the country.
Wow.
So, it's a fun life. You get to see the entire world. However, when I travel for the Judy Show, I take luggage for me, Betty Davis, Judy Garland, Carol Channing, Pearl Bailey, Mae West, and half the time I get there and I don't have any underwear. It's just the girls, so it gets a little old. And I was performing at the Purple Room when it first opened during the winter season, and the opportunity came up to buy it, and I thought, wouldn't that be lovely to stay in one place?
And what a place to be.
Yeah, well, I've never left. I don't even have a house anymore. I just stay in booth 63.
That's why it's always nice and warm there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Judy Show, because this is something I think it's become synonymous with the Purple Room and Sunday evenings. And Randy, you just saw it.
I did. Amazing.
For the first time. You were a Judy Show virgin.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
We took care of that.
Yes.
I saw that show
Couple of times.
when you were still touring it. You had not yet
Landed.
And I mean, it just blows me. And I know it changes all the time. I know that it evolves.
Well, it does, but the audience changes every night, and a lot of it is improv.
Right.
So that's the change is.
And I think, in fact, the first time you came and joined me on Eye on the Desert, you were dressed as Judy.
Yeah,
And
I hadn't gone to bed, and I think that was on a Monday.
It was hysterical. He comes in full Judy character, which was a riot. But you've made it a home for, I think, really great musicians, because you understand the art and the craft, and people love to come and perform there.
Yeah, well, my family had restaurants. I managed the restaurants at the Palmer House in Chicago for years, the flagship Hilton Hotel.
Yes.
The Empire Room, RKO Radio was broadcast out of there. Everybody was there. So I have a big restaurant background, but went into show business, and the opportunity to combine them came together. I think a lot of clubs, people know how to run a restaurant maybe, but the performance side is a little different.
Well, I have a number of the performers who come to the Purple Room on Eye on the Desert, and they universally love coming there because you run a really great supper club, and you treat the musicians, because you understand what it's like to be a guy on the road.
Oh, yeah. You walk into a new club you've never been in, and they like, hi, I'm the show tonight. And they're like, there's a stage.
Good luck.
8 o'clock.
That's kind of it, And I mean, I know a lot of the entertainers. I've known them from touring the same circuits, So they're friends. That's how this all started. Hey, you want to come? I go, still open the club. You want to come do this? But the horror stories that we all have.
We got plenty of time.
Okay. Well, Linda Lavin?
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
Alice.
Yeah, good friend. But Broadway star.
Broadway chops.
Amazing.
I mean, everybody
vocalist.
remembers her from her
Yeah.
sitcom, but she was a Broadway star long before she did Alice.
Yeah, and after. And cabaret star. And, you know, she goes to a club in L.A., headliner, you know, this is several years ago, but it was still like $120 a ticket. And walks in the door. The club is upstairs. And the hostess, she's like, "Hi, I'm Linda Lavin. I have a show tonight." She goes, "Talent goes in the back."
Oh, my God.
And Linda said, "Excuse me?" And she said, you know, she's standing right next to the stairs upstairs. And Linda, she's like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "Yeah, you have to walk around the building, through the alley, and in the alley in the back, and go there." And Linda says, "Little girl, I'm walking up these stairs right now, and if you want to stop me, you just try it." And of course, she tells me, she's like, "I thought that little bitch was going to come." You know, one of those, did I get away with it?
A club upstairs, I want to say Vitella's, but I don't want to say the name.
No,
Okay, good.
I wouldn't say that out loud.
I didn't say it out loud. And Linda performs. You can bring her in.
Yeah, well,
And she comes in for a lot of other shows. Like
she comes to see shows. But she's got such an amazing, still flowing career, and a lot of it is television. You know.
Yeah.
So we had her back booked for the spring last year, but she got another show, TV show, and I don't pay that much. so we let her out of that contract.
Let her out of that.
Yeah.
But see, I think, again, because you know how performers live their life, and I mean, everybody that I've talked to always says, "Oh, you know, we love doing the Purple Room because Michael's so easy to work with, and he kind of gets what we're doing," and it shows in the show. I think they really love the room because it's a warm, very welcoming room.
I think so. That's what I've always wanted.
A nice,
and never
intimate-
really had that I walked into. But I'm always there to greet every star. If they haven't been there, you know, this is the layout. This is what we're doing. What do you need? Here's sound. Here's lighting tech. Here's, you know. Never mind. But there are we have some other extra amenities.
Other amenities. You know, some of my favorite performers, Billy Stritch. You bring Billy in once or twice a year.
Yeah, well, you know, he and Linda have a great show together. A couple great shows. They were neighbors in the same building in New York during COVID. So they were lockdown buddies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But Billy, you know, he was a director for Tony Bennett, musical director, Liza Minnelli. I mean, everybody. Linda Eder.
Yeah, who is just unbelievable.
Right.
Amazing voice.
Yeah, so, I mean, these amazing stars. But it's interesting, there are not many clubs left to present all this amazing talent. You know?
And I know he's at he's at Birdland.
He's at Birdland, and they're also at the what's the one at the Carlisle?
Oh yeah, the something room, the Oak Room at the Carlisle.
Is that it? I can't remember.
With something like that.
I don't know. I shouldn't have had those first 3 drinks.
Well, the next one will take care of everything.
That's right. Well, I love when you bring Billy in, and he comes in with Jim Caruso, and they're sing along. But Billy does a solo show. I'm just throwing out some fun names that I really like. Amanda McBroom.
She's here in December with her brand new holiday show of her holiday CD called Winter Song.
I love it.
She is truly one of the funniest people I've ever met, and the kindest and most talented.
She's an incredible cabaret performer.
So I've known her, but hadn't had her at the club, and she and Michelle Browerman are writing partners on a lot, and Michelle Browerman, My Favorite Year, the theme song of the film, and they've written a lot of stuff. But right before the show, she says, "You have to be part of our pre-show thing," and I'm like, okay. I thought they were gonna come in a circle, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna pray. So I guess I gotta put on my pray face, you know.
They're going to save you, Billy.
And all of a sudden they say, "Are you ready?" And I said, "I'm ready." And they sit in a circle, and everybody slaps each other's ass and says, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." And they get the giggles on, and boom, the curtain opens, and everybody's laughing. I love it.
All right.
I could go to
John
that
and Randy,
church.
this is what we're doing before every podcast. We slap each other in the ass. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
I love tradition.
I'm
See how it goes the first time.
I'm still. That means, Randy, you have to grow an ass by next week. So,
You can buy that.
That wasn't awkward at all.
maybe Vitar Wellness can, give you one.
I want to go way back. I want to get off of that topic.
Dismissed.
I know.
Go way back.
Wow.
You talked about your restaurant management,
Yeah.
but you had an earlier opportunity to do some entertaining, and somebody kind of crushed your dream early on.
Oh, yeah.
Can you talk about that a little?
Well, I know I shouldn't say the name Dahlia Bach on the air.
Has anybody else mentioned her? I feel like deja vu.
I don't think so.
If I saw her today, I'd just say, you know what? We can't spell cunt without you. What a dream crusher. Hey, can I get
You
that
guys go on.
fourth
It's going to take
tequila?
me a minute to recover.
Can I get that fourth tequila?
But there actually was a story about this.
Yeah, well, I always,
I liked what he told already.
It was
so.
pretty good.
I grew up in this little town called Sandwich, Illinois, west of Chicago, about 60 miles. And the town had my graduating class was the biggest in the history, and it was 118 people. And that took all the surrounding communities included.
You were bussing people in.
Yeah. So anyway, we didn't really have opportunities for performance and just farming, and I was okay at that. But so I went to college and started studying. I worked 3 jobs, saved all my money to study with this vocal coach who was the very best in the Chicagoland area. And after a month, she gave me all my money back and said I would never sing and I should go into business. And that's what I did. Because children listen. Young, impressionable people. I didn't know anything about it. And I was successful in business. But I was not
happy
fulfilled.
doing it.
Right. Yeah. It was like, well, is this it? So.
How did you get the dream back?
Just started singing. Open mics, parties, stuff in Chicago. And then flash forward. Well, here's the real story. I mean, I still didn't think I would be a performer, right? So I had a house in Saugatuck, Michigan, which is a resort town right across from Chicago, across the lake. And there's a gay bar there called the Dunes Resort, and they had a drag contest. Let me back it up. Halloween, Chicago, there was a contest. Everybody did drag back then. This is 400 years ago, And they had it was called Night of 1,000 Drag Queens, and my friend John and I were going to go as Baby Jane Hudson and her sister from Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. And he bailed out on being in a wheelchair. And I said, fuck that, I'm not going to be ugly Betty, I'm going to go as Glamour Betty. And, half in the bag, you're just rocking and rolling all night long. And somebody threw my happy ass up on the stage, and I won the contest. So, that was fun. And then it was over. So I was in Saugatuck and did it for Halloween. People thought it was just fun, Just bitchy Betty. Bitchy, you are in that chair, you are. So there was this is terrible. I'm just, you know what? If I can get that other tequila, I'll tell you the rest of the story.
We're going to get one for you.
There was a drag queen in the town of Saugatuck, and that night there was a big contest. It's called Miss Sunset Coast Classic because it's the Sunset Coast of Michigan. And they're all like, are you going to be in the thing? And I'm like, I'm not a drag queen. And he went around telling everybody I was afraid to compete.
Well, it's a challenge.
Yeah, but I had never done anything like this before, so I'm like, you know what? Screw you! I'm going to do this contest, and I had to pay an entry fee, and the queens, they take it very seriously. I didn't know anything about it, and all apologies to every queen in the world, really, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I borrowed a dress from my friend Candy, and it kind of didn't really fit, so I wore it backward, as one does, and joined this contest. And then I find out you have to have 3 looks.
You only had one dress.
One fucking dress, and I wore it backward. So I'm like, okay, I hiked it up into a miniskirt, and then I dropped it down to my knees, and then I had an evening thing, and you had to do a performance.
You were actually singing.
And I sang and did comedy. And at the end, I pulled my wig off, and I won. But the prize was a 2-hour show in 2 months.
It's not much of a prize. That's more work.
No shit. But I was like, yay, I won. I'm like, what? What? I won
What's
a
the second
show?
prize? 3 shows?
So I called a friend of mine, Michael Deem, and I'm like, I got to do a show. So we called a friend who's a pianist, and we started this thing called Betty and the Boys. So it was Betty Davis and 2 guys.
So you like you had this experience doing classic divas.
Yeah, well, they're easier to do, I mean, a bitch slides right into my personality trait, But
And they were all bigger than life.
yeah, but eventually, we're like, you need a little more than Betty.
Right.
She's, she only goes so far. So we started, like, who actually had a show, and how could we do different people? And Judy Garland had a TV show.
That's right. Yeah. And she had a lot of different guests who were big, high caliber celebrities.
And, a couple bottles of tequila and a couple wigs later, here we are.
The Judy show was born.
Yeah. That was it.
I just remember when you walked into the studio dressed as you, I thought, Judy Garland probably wasn't this tall. I never met her, but...
No. Or that sober. Oh, sorry.
That presupposes either one of us was sober for that. You bring in such great entertainment, but you also get local talent and give them a regular outlet. And this season, if anybody wanders in on a Tuesday, you've got Chris Bennett performing for Happy Hour.
Yes. And she's a Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter.
She's amazing.
An amazing talent. And I've known her for years. And we've never... She's just... We're in the same place in our life. Just let's have fun and make it great. And, boom, 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 and we're done. Not this major commitment to a world tour,
And then on Tuesdays, Rose Millette comes in.
Living legend, Jazz Hall of Fame.
She's incredible.
Unbelievable. She's 76 years old, and you'd think she's 48, and she sings amazingly, and she's funny.
No, she is an incredible voice. You're exactly right. She sounds like she's in her heyday.
Yeah.
You would never know. You wouldn't know either by looking at her nor by listening to her that she's 76.
Right. I'm not telling tales out of school.
I know.
She says that.
She's been on I lots of times, and she's great. And you have that on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, you perform with a couple of very close friends of yours, Charles Herrera and Darcy Daniels.
Darcy Daniels and Fatty Charles Herrera.
Fatty Charles.
Yeah. We've called each other. We have this thing going. We just call each other Fatty, because it's kind of a mean thing, but we take the power out of it. Maybe.
Okay.
Anyway,
maybe.
So Charles Herrera, I have always contended, is the best male vocalist in the Valley, bar none. He's just stunning, and he can do every style of music. And Darcy Daniels, is a native of Palm Springs.
Mm-hmm.
and has made her living her entire life performing.
She has a star on the Palm Springs Walk of Stars.
Yes, yeah, I know. She paid a lot for that.
They cost money. Yeah.
They do,
I
but
found that out.
usually other people buy it. Anyway.
All right, we're going to return to this, and we're going to talk more about the lineup and some of the special guests that are coming up. But right now, we need to pause and once again say a big thank you to our presenting sponsor, the McCallum Theater, the home of theater in the Coachella Valley.
The McCallum Theater's 2024-2025 season is on sale now. The world's top artists, from jazz, pop, classical, and comedy to the best of Broadway, only at the Valley's favorite place for great entertainment. Tickets are on sale now at the McCallum Theater box office, by phone, or online at mccallumtheater.org. Tickets sell quickly, so order yours today. A new, exciting season only at the McCallum. The McCallum Theater's 2024-2025 season is on sale now.
All right, we were talking about, so Wednesdays, you guys do the music of the Rat Pack era. And,
We do.
And you guys are amazing on stage. I mean, like, there's such chemistry between the three of you.
You know, we've been great friends for almost 2 decades. And this is a small town, and just the performance arena in general is small. Mm-hmm. And we support each other and laugh. So our goal is actually privately to crack each other up on stage and destroy each other. And we get the giggles sometimes so bad. And
for the audience, that's one of the best moments of the night.
Oh, yeah.
well, they seem to. But our real goal is to get Charles to wet his pants. But
How often has that happened?
about 8.
We try to do that with Randy here on the podcast.
8 times today.
Wow.
Yeah, it's, I'm old.
Does it
He's
happen every show or
No.
depends?
Hi-oh.
I'm just going to leave. I think you have found your co-host. He's been interviewing co-hosts for like a month and a half.
Oh, really?
When did we start
Congratulations.
this?
Oh, a year and a half ago?
Yeah, that's how long we've been interviewing co-hosts. Well, you're a very lucky man. A lot of them say, no, we're too busy.
That never happens with me. I'm never too busy.
Randy's like, no, I can be there.
Really?
Are we doing another one this week?
What time does it start? Yeah. Hey, did I really read that you opened for Sting and Elton John when you used to tour?
Yeah, but that was. They didn't request me, if that's what you're saying. I just kind of happened to be there.
I was wondering more about the experience.
No, they were benefits. And,
Okay.
yeah.
They didn't ask me.
They didn't say tour with me.
Like, who the hell is that? But I was in pants for that as a guy.
Okay.
I do sing as a male performer.
You do need. So you've been to the Judy show, Randy, but you need to go on a Wednesday night and see the Rat Pack era, which is a ton of fun. And it just
No,
these
we're going
guys
to be
are great.
there a lot. We had such a blast. And
We have-
everybody that works there is just amazing.
You know, it's a family there, but everybody gets. It's an experience. You know, you just come for the experience. Does everybody love it? I hope so, but I suspect not, because it's not their gig. But what we do, I think we do really well.
You do extremely well. And on Thursdays, you have Chris Bennett back for happy hour, and then you have Sharon Sills.
Va-va-voom.
Now, I've known Sharon Sills for 25 years.
Oh, yeah.
I used to go to a place in Newport Beach every Sunday night called Villanova. And it was a piano bar, and a guy named Richie Fano was the piano player.
And Sharon Sills was laying under it.
She, on many occasions.
Oh, Sharon, if you hear this, you know I love you, honey.
We're kidding. Sharon would come in, and I think at the time she might have had like a clothing boutique in Vegas. She had stuff going on.
Here's my favorite thing about Sharon. She is one of the funniest people I've ever met.
She's hilarious.
And, funny, but you can't be stupid and be funny. She's a very sharp businesswoman. She has a character, Va-va-voom, Sharon
Yes.
Sills. She's a smart cookie. She had many clothing boutiques and many husbands. No, nothing stupid about that.
All of them off the rack. No, but she would,
That was a good line.
she would come in on Sundays, and sometimes she'd drive in from Vegas just to do the open mic. It was an open mic, and I'd get up and sing a song. She would sing 12.
Right.
Because, she's amazing. And so now you got her on Thursdays.
Yeah.
I was there last Thursday. She sounded amazing. She's just terrific.
Such a powerful performer.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. She talks too much, so I turn the lights off on her sometimes. Sharon, did you hear that?
Sing, baby, don't talk. No, and and the husband she has now has been with her for quite some time.
RJ, yeah.
Yes, Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful. He always makes sure she has a martini.
I think that's important.
I think that's where the name comes from. Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful. No, so that's a great, just a during the week lineup. There's no cover charge, folks. Come in.
Come on
You
in.
have the best. You guys undersell your bourbon selection. And I know Aaron does a great job, but you guys have, I would argue, as a bourbon aficionado, the best bourbon selection perhaps in the state of California, but certainly in all of Southern California.
Well,
and
that's
I've been to
what we're
places
told.
in L.A. and
Yeah, we're told that. As a matter of fact, Aaron Pond, who is our bar manager and bourbon master, he and Heather Gutierrez, our general manager, just flew down to Garrison Brothers, selected a premium barrel select, did a tasting of 8 different barrels. They chose the barrel.
fell over.
And when they got up the next day, they actually bottled the barrel. It's an exclusive to the Purple Room, and it's at our club now.
It's the Purple Room blend. They hand selected. They did this also with Jack Daniel's single barrel.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a bottle, but I got one of the medallions.
You didn't get a bottle?
No, but I got many glasses of it.
Yeah. I think you got
More
a
than a
few
bottle.
bottles at least.
Well, over the course of time. So when you do a personalized barrel, and a number of distilleries do it, you get to go and sample. It's a single barrel, so they let you sample different barrels that have been aged for different periods of time. You sample it over a lengthy period of time. When you decide you're ready, you like this barrel, then they can't just ship you the barrel because of federal law, but you get about 256 bottles out of a barrel, and that if you buy it as a person, that just shows up on your doorstep one day. 256.
No, they were actually there and bottled it right out of the spigot. They sealed it.
They put a wax seal. Yeah.
Heather did she numbered every label.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So she was
that's
there
how
when it
drunk
happened.
She was. They're like, write a number. She did. Yeah.
So we've talked about what the Purple Room means to this community.
We have?
Yeah, well, we're going to.
Have you been here for the same podcast we have?
Yes. You both talked about how the community loves the Purple Room.
We do. That's
So
nice.
let me start with that. They really stepped up for you during COVID.
Unbelievably so.
Yeah.
And
Talk about what that meant to you.
I was devastated. And Lucy Arnaz and Sue Cameron, friends of mine.
Sue has been on the podcast,
Yeah.
and she was one of our favorite guests.
Yeah.
Lucy has promised to come on.
Oh, she'll come.
I know.
Yeah. Anyway, they convinced me to do it because had we not done it, we would have closed. So if you guys remember at the beginning of this, it was 3 weeks. You're going to be closed 2 to 3 weeks. We were closed 18 months. I kept my staff on. We started doing to-go orders.
I
You know?
got prime rib to go
Perfect.
on a couple of different occasions.
Do you still have it?
Not a bite was left.
And we tried to do that and try and keep all the staff on because nobody knew what was going on with unemployment. You can't just let. So
And
if
you repurposed the restaurant to help out.
then we did. I changed the whole dining room into a assembly lines to do gown patterns for COVID.
Yeah, you made PPE stuff.
Yeah.
Personal protection.
Well, what happened was Lucy,
Where?
we found out from Eisenhower, they had all they call it dead stock. So you keep, you don't keep 2 years of stock. You keep it weekly and it's replaced, like linen or whatever in a restaurant. You don't have linen for a whole year. The trucks quit coming. They were rerouted. They had nothing. And remember at the beginning, you had to take off. You saw one patient, rip it off. Patient, rip it off. So for a long time, I paid my staff to do the gown patterns.
Yeah, make PPE is amazing.
And then I was out of money because Judy, only made so much, and then they embezzled it. So it's kind of the story of my life too. Yeah. So then we went on and we did a couple toy drives for. Remember, Well in the Desert?
Well in the
We'd
Desert?
do the big thing at the convention center
Yep.
for all the kids. That was closed. So Darcy comes to me.
Well, she was on board of the Well of the Desert at the time and wanted to do a toy drive.
So we said, let's do it. And we had fun doing some videos to promote it. And our goal was 1,000 presents. And we ended up with 2,600 presents that we had to wrap.
Which you did in the dining room.
We did in the dining room, another assembly line. And then we loaded them in trucks and handed them all out on Christmas Day. And I still have the blisters on my feet from doing it.
But
it was fun.
Lucy and Sue knew that you were strapped for cash. You hadn't been open, but you were still paying your staff, and they put together basically a GoFundMe.
They said, let's do a GoFundMe. Everybody was, 54 below, all the clubs, because it took a long time to get any support coming through to help get a loan.
The state had, the state
through.
had
You
loans,
couldn't even
but
get that. Yeah.
That was 6 months or 10 months or 12 months down the line, and they kept the lifeline going, and it's paid off because you are still open today and you're still providing incredible entertainment. Your menu this year is better than it's ever been.
Luis Mondragon has done it. He's just keeps knocking it out of the park.
You guys always have, you change it up each season. The food is always amazing, but this year I was just there and had a little dinner, and I mean, it's just fantastic.
Chicken Parmesan.
Thanks.
Amazing.
You had the chicken
love that.
parm?
I did.
I love that.
Amazing. It's so fun sitting at the bar there.
It's my favorite place.
Oh,
Really.
I only go, when I go see a show, I don't eat, mainly because I'm begging, but I'm like, no, I like to sit at the bar because it's so much more fun, and you get to kind of interact and
it's you can still see the show.
of course.
Oh, I think it's even a better seat.
I do
You're
too.
above everybody. But, that's what's fun about the Purple Room. It's kind of like, you want a romantic evening and a show and romance, the main dining room. You want rock and roll, have fun at the bar, something quiet back in the lounge. It's kind of, it's got everything.
I will tell you, one of my favorite stories was the last time I saw Billy Stritch, and I'm sitting at the bar. And there was this couple. They were slightly older than me. And the lady was super friendly. Very, very friendly. And the more cocktails she had, the friendlier she got.
Uh-huh.
And she was with her daughter and her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And then the mom started telling me how the daughter was this great gal. And she, but had to get rid of the husband, and she's thinking about moving out here, and I seem like I'm like, well, I am married.
Yeah.
But she was like, that's okay. My daughter's right here. You should. And she swapped
matter.
seats.
Are you a fanatic about your marriage?
It doesn't matter.
She swapped seats, and her
She's
daughter's
lonely.
I'm just like, this could only happen at the Purple Room.
Yeah.
But it was hysterical.
Pimping out your daughter at the Purple Room.
One of my favorite Billy Stritch stories was Marilyn May, who is...
Was she 98?
6.
96.
6 or 7. I just got that fourth tequila just
It kicks in.
killed that third brain cell I was hanging on to. So anyway, Billy's playing for Maryland, who's coming in the end of November, December, and he his, like myself, battled being a smoker. You know, you quit and then you quit for 14 years, and then you buy a club and you start smoking again, kind of like that. And so everybody greets everybody in the lobby of Club Trinidad, and Maryland was out there, and Billy went outside to have a cigarette, and he went to walk back in, and the doors were closed, but they're all glass. And he smashed his face right on that door, not realizing there was a glass door there.
Oh, my God.
Knocked the glass panel out of the door frame, and it slowly fell and dropped 6 inches from crushing Marilyn May, who's not very tall.
No.
She's like 5'5". And the glass didn't break.
Well, thank God.
You know what I just remembered? Billy told me if I ever told anybody that story, he'd kill me.
Okay. We'll edit it out in post. Almost certainly. And he doesn't listen to the pod. He's been invited on, and he said he'll come on.
Can you tag him somehow on this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I will send it to him. Hey, Billy.
Yeah.
And he just stood there. It's one of those he had to be there, but it was funny as shit.
He was gonna invite me to sing in the next, but now I won't. But
why?
No, because of the story. No, Billy's great. One of my favorite Billy stories, and this is the kind of crowd that I went to see. Every time I see Billy, I see Lucy and Larry because they're always there.
Yeah.
But I'm standing in line to say hi to Billy. He'd been on Eye in the Desert. He's very gracious. Like, if he gets in town early enough, he's always like, let me come on. And I'm always happy to have him on. And a gentleman taps me on the shoulder. And I turn around and he says, I believe I watch you every morning. And I said, oh, well, thank you very much. And he says, my name's Bob Mackey.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. There's a designer named Bob Mackey. He goes, well, that would be me.
That'd be, yeah. Bob comes a lot.
Bob comes a lot, but he was so kind and so gracious.
He's
and
so lovely.
He's such a nice man.
You should just stand outside the club for podcast guests.
Notably, what Bob did not say was, your suits are really terrific.
Yeah.
When I watch you. He never said that.
No, nice outfit.
Nothing about that. But no, he is a delightful guy, and I'm like, so to just say hi.
He's just a great. He's such a nice man. They just finished his documentary,
right?
And they viewed it in L.A. It's not officially released.
It's not released yet. Yeah. We're trying to get him on Eye. We'd love to have him. Bob, if you're listening, we'll tag you as well.
We'd
would
love
like to
help
have
your
you.
career.
That's right.
Well, see, this is how I get a lot of the stars to play at the club. We all know the dirt on each other.
Oh, okay.
So if you need Bob here for a podcast, call me.
Okay, well, no, that's done. Well, Bob is going to be one of our guests. And actually, I can't wait for him to review Randy's outfits.
What?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Stop that.
I'm
We've
sorry.
already had one guest that sat down and go, I don't like your shirt.
Oh, and then it was the worst podcast ever.
I can't hear you over your blouse anyway. Sorry.
Blouse. He said your blouse. Terry's plan is working. Okay, it is time right now for our... You want me to read this?
No.
Oh, you read it.
It is time for the Big Conversations Little Bar Rapid Round.
Yeah, whose job is this?
We're professionals at this. We ask our guests 5 key questions, and we want them to answer them all in under 2 minutes. The rapid round
Per
is...
question?
No.
Total.
In toto.
The rapid round is presented by Vitara Wellness.
A little dog, too.
Vitara Wellness, just a stone's throw from Little Bar at 74345 Highway 111 in Palm
I'm going to
Desert.
test that. I saw some rocks out there.
Vitara Wellness is your path to lasting weight loss success. Open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Vitara Wellness offers medical weight loss services,
Tell Charles he won't be called fatty anymore.
IV vitamin and hydration therapy, hormone replacement therapy, and regenerative cell therapy. Transform your health, transform your life. Visit them online at Vitara. That's VITARA wellness.com. Live life well.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
We're ready.
Sure. Who are you asking?
You.
I'm asking you.
All right.
I'm not involved in this.
Okay, blackout.
What is the one go-to place in town that you take out-of-town visitors other than the Purple Room?
The general public can attend?
Yes. No, any one of your guests.
You know what? I always go to Spencer's for lunch. I just love it. Michelle, the server there, all the service staff is great, but I love Spencer's for lunch.
Love Spencer's too. If a movie was made of your life, who's going to play you?
First of all, that will never happen. And I would like it to be Tulula Bankhead, darling. Yes.
That would be fantastic.
I would love for
I would have
Tulula.
picked Michael Keaton to play you.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think he would do it. Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
Really?
He played Batman. He could play
I could see that.
Batman.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, the Beetlejuice thing.
You put some
that's
prison-
closer
I could-
to a drag queen
You
than
put some prison garb on and wild hair. I see it. I see it.
Would be the first time he had prison garb on.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
What?
Well, that was the other place I can't take.
That's
that I
right.
couldn't say the out-of-town friends.
Indio jail.
You can only watch one movie. What is it?
Auntie Mame. Rosalind Russell. Funniest damn movie in the world.
Yeah?
You can just isolate 38 seconds here, 38 seconds there. She is brilliant.
Check that one out.
You mean film that general public, not a
You seem to have.
particular rating.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's like when you were in college or whatever and you took tests. Oh, I'm sorry. When you were in high school.
Fresno City College. And I didn't graduate.
In the theater.
Shoot, I've got to practice more for this.
No, but like every question could be a trick question. Where's the answer?
It is. Every question is a trick question.
Yeah.
None of these are.
Oh, really?
None of these are.
Quelle surprise.
What's the most exotic place you've traveled?
Again.
I need a
Where
completely
the
different
general
set of
public is
answers.
accepted? Or where they don't require clothing?
Right. Jungles in Mexico. Catacombs in Barcelona.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, a couple. What else would there be? I mean,
You traveled all over the place performing,
I black out a lot.
but certainly there are photographic records.
Yeah, there are a few. Sometimes I do show up on film. I have to tell you, my neighbor was the head of the biology department at Northern Illinois University, and he used to take me. Is it spelunking?
Spelunking, yeah.
Cave hunting, and for bats. That was pretty exotic.
That is very exotic.
And it was great, and I loved it.
You're the first guest that's had that as an answer.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
It's so common.
By the way,
Spelunking?
just a weird aside. Northern Illinois just beat Notre Dame, who was number 10.
Yeah, we didn't need to go there.
Yeah.
We didn't need to go there.
Northern Illinois, in the 70s, largest concentration of satanic worshiping in the country.
Well, that's interesting.
That's a whole nother show.
Because John White, our main anchor at KESQ News Channel 3, and his wife are both graduates of Northern Illinois.
I went to Northern Illinois.
Did you go?
Yes.
You are a Husky.
Well, I still am a little bit. Judy's a size 6,
But John, I think, graduated in the 80s, not the 70s, so he probably wasn't the satanic worshiper.
Probably.
No, but back then, yeah, that was all going on up there. It was chaos. But that was also, I'm not sure how true it was. Bigfoot was everywhere and all that weird stuff.
Bigfoot is still everywhere. Oh, that's our rapid round presented by Vitara Wellness in Palm Desert. Visit VitaraWellness.com or call 760-208-4011.
I think you should have to read that like 10 times.
I think once was enough.
For what? Is there more time?
There's
No.
lots of more time.
We're
You
out
got
of
more
time.
stories?
No, I've got to get to the
do.
Purple Room because
Yeah.
there's entertainment happening.
Yeah, Rose Millet.
Rose Millet. So that tells you what day we taped it on. You've got some great, before we go, you've got
Okay.
some great shows coming up. I know Lucy's coming up in October.
Yeah. Broadway Barbara, Amanda McBroom.
Yes.
Judy's Old Fashioned Christmas comes back. You know, it's just dirty holiday fun.
Dirty.
New Year at the Purple Room. We have 3 seatings.
Stuff
It's
your
just rock.
stockings with Judy.
It's possible I may never go to another venue.
All right, wait, but tell me about New Year's at the Purple Room.
Yeah. We have 3 seatings, jazz each one, countdown, and of course midnight. You know, the late one is the big deal, but it's so much fun. I love the holidays there. Everybody is there to just have fun.
Yeah.
Relax, enjoy.
New Year's, I think, is a particularly fun holiday in Palm
Yeah.
Springs.
It has the Purple Room has a touch of glamour, old school vibe, and people dress up, and a lot of people come vintage clothing, and everybody takes an Uber, and we never overserve.
Never. As stipulated in the small print on our contract.
It's true, though. We always take care of everybody.
No, you guys do. It's an incredible entertainment venue, but it also, when you walk, I mean, it's a small, intimate venue. You feel like you're visiting friends.
We only hold 100 people.
Yeah.
And you feel the history the second you walk in.
Well, one of my favorite, you have quotes from Sammy Davis and Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. And my favorite Dean Martin quote is, I shook hands with Pat Boone and my whole right side sobered up.
Yeah.
I just hear him
on
saying
the wall. I love that.
Yeah. Well, the Purple Room is where Frank proposed to Barbara. Booth 63 is where he used to sit with Angie Dickinson. They started their Rat Pack quote act there.
That's right.
At the club before they took it to the Sands in Las Vegas. Keely Smith played there. She was Frank's favorite female vocalist. They were there all the time.
Adored Keely Smith. She knew that I grew up in Virginia, and she'd always call me that boy from Virginia. And she would I would frequently see her at Jerry Vale's house.
Yeah.
And she would never miss an opportunity to pinch my ass.
Well, most people don't.
I was just going to say.
It's like, Keely, your husband's here,
line of people.
and my wife's here. She goes, I don't care. You're that boy from Virginia.
Yeah,
pinch my
I know.
ass.
You always think I'm pinching your ass, but guess what? I go home with a new wallet.
This was so much fun.
So none of the drinks have been free, is what you're saying.
No, nothing's free. Nothing is free.
Michael Holmes, thank you so much.
Wow, Patrick, you guys, this was great.
Oh, this is so much fun.
This was awesome.
It was fun.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it. Thanks for including me. Next time I'll come earlier and drink.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
I'd like to see him on this drinking. That'd be a lot of fun.
I know.
This is actually
the first 12 steps are the hardest.
I'm not a quitter.
I'm no quitter. My dad didn't raise a quitter. This is one of the things, actually, and Randy, I think you'll attest to this. This is one of the most fun things about our podcast is when you get to sit down with somebody that you really love and enjoy, and it becomes a fun hour of entertainment.
Just a couple of drunks sitting in a circle. Yeah.
I prefer the term lush. Thank you very much.
Well, if you're good at something, stick with it.
That's Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another excellent
Really
episode of Big Conversations Little Bar. Michael Holmes, Purple Room. Go to purpleroompalmsprings.com and book your tickets. Look now, because all the good shows are selling out quick. Thank you very much, sir, and thank you for what you do for the community, because it's a labor of love, and I know that you love what you do.
We do love what we do, and we love you, and thank you for having us.
And you demonstrate it every day. Our thanks to the McCallum Theater for being our presenting sponsor, to Vitara Wellness for sponsoring the Rapid Round, and we are rapidly running out of time. So Randy and I will be back. Our thanks to John McMullen, our producer extraordinaire, and you look phenomenal, John.
You look marvelous.
Whatever you're doing, it's working, baby.
I don't know
Keep
how
it
you're
up.
feeling, honey, but your hair looks great.
Join us next time for another edition of Big Conversations, a Little Bar.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Big Conversations, Little Bar. Recorded on location at Skip Page's Little Bar in Palm Desert, California, the center of the Coachella Valley universe. and presented by the McCallum Theater. Online at McCallumTheater.org. This program is a production of the Mutual Broadcasting System. All episodes are available from BigConversationsLittleBar.com and most major podcast portals, including Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Spotify.